Hello and welcome to the every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Ask My Amazon Guy anything. My name is Stephen Pope and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. Each and every week we come in and you can ask me PPC questions, SEO, catalog, design, optimization, traffic conversion, you name it, I can answer it. Try to be your walking encyclopedia of Amazon whenever possible. I do prioritize questions from those that use the sticker or join as a member, and we'll dive right on in. So we'll go first to Ruben here. Thank you for the donation, Ruben. In your experience, have you seen shipments being closed, but it does not give you an option to reconcile, and there is no future date when we can? Yes, I see this all the time. It's super buggy. Ruben, what I would recommend doing is instead of submitting the ticket through the FBA system, go ahead and go through the ticketing process through Seller Central support and do FBA on the dropdown and just type in your shipment report and ask them for a refund on the missing items. It typically works out pretty well if you do it that way. If you need assistance trying to claw back stuff out of Amazon, I'll also give a small plug for our My Refund Guy service. We go in and we'll file those tickets on your behalf so you don't have to deal with it automatically. First $500 is on us. We take a 25% commission on anything that follows that. I got a video that walks through the tutorial on how we do that. Anything lost, damage, refunds, mishandled returns, lost and bound shipments, definitely worth trying to claw money back. Amazon typically owes you thousands of dollars. How to choose which video to be the main one next to the images? Boy, I don't know if I know of a way to do that. So you can load multiple videos on a listing, and I think that's what Ruben did. And he's asking like, hey, can I reorder those? I bet you're going to have to file a ticket to do that. Otherwise, it's probably going to be ordered based on the load date. And I honestly don't know if they load it based on most recent or oldest, to be totally honest. That's a really good, interesting question. If anybody knows the answer to Ruben's question, let's hook him up and give him an answer to that. More often than not, I'll only load one video to a listing, right? So if we go back to a listing here, I'll only load like one video like this and call it a day. I more often than not will not load multiple videos. If you load multiple videos, you then see a drop down and you can play multiple ones. Another way to load videos to the platform is in the customer section right here in the video section down here. You can also load videos here. And these are typically ranked by what's loaded to the listing, followed by most relevant, not by date. These are often ads for competitors. So you always want to load some videos in there. And that way, when they go to your competitors, they see your own video ads. We've also seen Amazon Live videos show in this section quite a bit after the Amazon Live is completed, which you can do on an Apple iPhone on your own brand. It will then circulate into this video section down here. All right, so let's go to the next question. And Cool Peeps, thank you for your super sticker here. You're one of our super most loyal fans. We see you every Friday, and you call it Happy Stephen Brain Day. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you. How do we add the from the brand content? I don't see in the A+ content creation options. So you can add this within the Seller Central portal. If it's not enabled on your account, you might have to ask for it. But I believe it's just simply in the A+ content manager. I might have to do a dedicated video on this one. And of course, I'm off screen right now trying to load the A+ content modules, and they're like bugging out. But here we go. So I'm in the A+ content module. So in here, this is, to get to this section, you go to advertising, A+ content manager. And I'm trying to remember, where do they put the brand story? So, all right. So you can see here in the drop down, the content type right there. So it's in the same spot. Maybe when you go, here you go. Here's how you find it. So you click on the top right, create, and then you can see on the left versus the right, this is the enhanced brand content. And on the right is the brand story. So again, I'm going to show that start creating A+ content. For those that don't know what we're talking about, this is the A+ content and the brand story right on the listing. So this section right here from the brand, that is the brand section. And you can see here, you can add in a bunch of information, text and whatnot. And then here is the A+ content, which, as you can see here, we take up as much space as possible. We want to push down the competing noisy rabbit holes, the other products that show up on the listings. Want to get rid of those. Great question on that one. But yeah, most of you who are watching this probably do not have your brand story built. It's an easy 15-minute job today to go get that filled out. Just load an image and type in some text. It can be a duplicate of what you've already built before. Not a big deal. For A+ content, how do you get the compare with similar items module in your A+ content? I only see standard comparison chart as an option. Can you select the SKU you want in the grid? So this is not an A+ content module. So this down here, the compare with similar items, this is auto-populated by Amazon. So that's not possible to alter, unfortunately. This right here, the product module grid, is what I recommend filling out and customizing. And here, one of the best ways to increase your average order value is to link to your other products, because somebody that buys my fruity soap might buy the masculine soap, get one for him, one for her, right? And so you can actually click onto those products, right? So I can go click over here, and it's basically duplicating the parentage, if you will. We're actually coming out with another soap here called the Damsel soap. We've got Macho, which was our newest release. We're coming out with a Damsel. We've done really well with these, and so we're coming out with some new scents. It's really kind of fun. But yeah, standard comparison chart, not possible. You can't control that one. That one's automated. What are your thoughts on Rebate Key and review incentive programs like that? Has Amazon cramped down on it? Yes, 100%. Complete violation of terms and conditions to do rebates at this point. Anything that incentivizes artificial search engine optimization from a source or incentivizes reviews has been massively cracked down in the last 90 days, even more so. I've had a lot of coaching calls with people where Amazon's like, hey, your inventory, yeah, you incentivize reviews, you have to remove it out of FBA. So it's been very, very hectic. If you want to hire us for a coaching call to talk about your own problems, we have same-day appointments available. Just go to myamazonguy.com/book a coaching call, and we'll help you out. And then last one from Cool Peeps here. Congrats on the over 2 million views on YouTube. Steven, can you tell us how much ad revenue you've made? I make about $67 a month on ad revenue. I only have 5 videos where I actually allow ads on, and they're just 5 videos that I know are being clicked on from people that will never engage on Amazon. I do this because it allows me to gain new clientele. Most of the people that come to my Amazon Guy have seen 5, 10, 15, 20 of our videos. They get on the phone with my father, our sales manager, Dan Pope, and they're like, yeah, you must be a proud father. And they say, hey, we want to hook you up. And then they hire us for full service. So I don't do any of the YouTube stuff to make money from a direct advertising sense. I do it to get my name out there. Hopefully some of you decide to check us out. You can go over to myamazonguy.com, click on our services, and check out all of our ways we grow sales through advertising, SEO, design, and catalog. All right, we got a new member to the channel. We'll go to your question next. Karen, thanks for the donation, as well as becoming a new member here. Despite having great SEO, full keyword research, my ASINs do not have a 1-to-2 ratio between sponsored keywords and organic. It's been 6 weeks. My ASIN has less than 1,000 organic keywords, no A+ content. So, Karen, I'd love to see the ASIN and take a look at it. If you have close to 800 or 900 keywords indexed without A+ content in under 6 weeks, you're doing fantastic. You're doing really, really good. Even with A+ content, not every listing will get to that 1,000 keywords index in the first 30 days. Some categories have more niche keywords, other ones don't. And so there are some variables between the categories and how quickly you'll index and for how many words you'll index for. But what Karen is talking about, for those that haven't seen me talk about the keyword ratio, what we're trying to accomplish or do is go into a tool like Helium 10. So we're looking up one of my ASINs here live, and we're going to look at the keyword ratio of sponsored keywords to organic. So in this case, we're advertising on 1,800 keywords, and we're organically indexed for 3,600. That's pretty much spot on to a 1-to-2 ratio. So not all my listings are a 1-to-2 ratio, by the way. I just like using the 1-to-2 ratio as a starting point to the conversation. If I had 1,800 keywords sponsored ads and 1,800 keywords indexed for organic, and they were 1-to-1, I would know immediately that this listing is underdeveloped for search term optimization. And I would say, hey, I need to put all of my resources over to organic. But when a listing like this, which is done very well, it's got lots of keywords advertised and lots of keywords in the organic. It's a lot harder to ascertain like where the investment should go. Should it go into ads? Should it go into SEO? Well, it's a 1-to-2 ratio, so it's pretty even. You might want to split your reinforcements there. But in terms of indexing, like our phases for SEO, phase 1 is always about indexing for as many keywords as possible. Phase 2, incremental indexing. Phase 3, it's about strike zone. And the strike zone is those organic keywords that are in ranks 20 through 50. You hit apply, and then you can see like, hey, I've got 455 keywords in rank 20 through 50. That's a lot, by the way. And so I'm going to select 8 of them approximately, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10. And I'm going to rework my page to try and optimize for phase 3 SEO. So if we sort the search volume here and see like, hey, men's soap, 16,000 search volume, clearly I'm going to probably want to focus more on this than I would a keyword of like 500 value. So, I'm in striking distance on some major keywords on the soaps here, even for my number one competitor, Mr. Squatch Soap. And he actually sources the soap the same place I do, believe it or not. We were able to figure that out. So yeah, that's how you would massage further your keyword strategies there, Karen. And I think you're probably ahead of where you might suspect you are, but without a doubt, get that A+ content. If your challenge is you don't have a trademark yet, don't forget you can get a trademark in under 7 days, file for brand registry. The trademark does take the full 6 months. All that's standard, but you can get the trademark registered pendingly for brand registry, full brand registry access on Amazon in under 7 days. So, hey, it's January. It's 2022, January, right? Do you have a new brand you want to launch on Amazon? Well, go get that trademark and sit on it because it takes 6 months before you can actually remove hijackers. So even if you're not going to sell until June, go get the trademark now so that way it's taken care of. Simultaneously, if you've already launched and you don't have your brand registry yet, get the trademark up and running because that's the fastest way to get sales growth is through brand registry and additional value from that. All right, so let's scroll up to see. I think that's all of the super sticker donations in the queue. I will jump you above the queue if you do a sticker. Otherwise, I'll go to the members next. And then if we have time remaining, we'll go to the future members because you're not non-members of the My Amazon Guy community. You're just future members. You haven't hit that subscribe join button yet. Mike says, do you recommend to post brand content on TikTok for Amazon brands? Yes, but not every brand. You got to be a TikTok brand quality, right? So, one of the most, when items go live or viral rather on TikTok, you're going to see a bunch of Chinese come in and knock off the product. So keep that in mind, right? So I've seen this repeatedly happen where if something goes viral on TikTok, everybody's doing a prank or everybody's laughing about a situation or a product in a certain type. Those are great products for TikTok. Your standard run-of-the-mill apple slicer on TikTok, you'd have to figure out something to make that would work. But yes, I would say it's not a bad idea. At the end of the day, Mike, it's no longer about review generation because it's so hard to generate reviews these days. It's about order generation and it's about engagement generation. So for every 100 orders you get, one person will leave a review. So if you just focus more on PPC and generate more orders, you get more reviews that way. That's not perfect. It's not a holistic approach, but it's a starting point. And then in addition to that, having the engagement generation where you put in product inserts to your products, asking somebody to take a photograph of them using your product and post it on Instagram, hashtag your brand name. So hashtag Age of Sage or hashtag Momster for my two brands, then you're going to generate user content and you can incentivize them to do that by saying, hey, I'll give you a $20 gift card to my website. And then every time somebody posts it on the hashtag, you can create a Google alert, boom. Then you can go and contact them and give them a one-to-one gift card code for doing so. So it's a really great way. I think TikTok is hit or miss. I think Instagram and other social medias with engagement gen definitely recommend. How can I get an Amazon brand to sell good on Shopify? Well, I need to pay thousands on SEO and Google ads. You may not even want to do it, to be honest, Mike. It depends on your product type. Certain categories are not direct to consumer worthy, right? So if I'm a consumer and I'm shopping for a cell phone case, that is a great brand to have a Shopify brand website, right? Because there's thousands of SKUs, there's a culture, There's an entire brand identity. But if you're just selling like a commodity good, like an apple slicer or whatever, not going to be a good idea. The website, it's not going to produce. There's no reason for the consumer to go to your website. The more SKUs you have, the more sense a Shopify website would make sense, because then you can use Google ads. Specifically, Google shopping ads are one of my favorite techniques. Low cost, get them very easy to set up from a management standpoint. Difficult technically though, to get the Google Merchant Center connected. But yeah, those are good. Any companies to recommend for Amazon page videos? Unfortunately, no. Every time we find a good videographer, they get burned out and then they just kind of quit. And this is like reputable third-party companies that we found. It's very burn and turn, unfortunately. Do you recommend to do email marketing for an Amazon brand? Same question as the Shopify. It depends if it's direct to consumer. If it is, then yes. The question is how are you going to obtain the emails? Are you going to try and put people through a landing page, right, and use like a click funnel? You'll lose a lot of people through that. But if you get real good email addresses that actually produce over time, those email lists can be very valuable. Supplements 100% need to be doing email subscription providers. Gift giving, maybe not, right? Like certain categories may not need it. Does Amazon allow to include an insert card with a 10% coupon to shop on a Shopify website? Yes, I would say it's in the gray area at this time. But you're not supposed to market to the consumer is the white of the matter. But the fact is, as long as you don't incentivize reviews, I don't think you're going to get any pushback for having a product insert of some kind. All right, so those are all Mike's questions. Let's go down to the next member, Steve. Hi, happy Friday, Steven. When you have fully optimized a client's listing, does your team ever go back and change the title or bullets? What's their process in doing so and finding new or missing keywords? So, Steve, great question. I'm a big fan of the book Traction. I keep it next to my desk all the time, right? So big believer in Traction. If you guys have not read this book, be the best business book you read this year. In the book Traction, it specifically recommends that you build out a graphic that summarizes your entire business model. This is that graphic for My Amazon Guy. So after you optimize things for PPC, SEO, design, and catalog, it never ends. It's continuous. It must be continually optimized. So this graphic represents that. It's a cycle, right? You can see it cycles through all four of those areas. And when you do that, it leads to traffic, conversion, and sales. It sounds basic, but that's exactly the point. Basic things that are continuously optimized functionally work long-term, right? So other questions we had in our podcast today were people asking things like, hey, should I do Rebate Key? Well, the answer was yes 2 or 3 years ago, but the answer is no today. Anything that's external to Amazon that mitigates or circumvents rather the platform's rules will eventually burn and turn. And so if you want to be optimizing towards a future, you should run the basics. So we continually optimize things. I've done a bunch of PickFu videos where I talk about optimizing the main photo repeatedly. And there's some great content I've done on that. You're never done optimizing. You always continually try and push for more traffic and more conversion. Abdallah says, what's your launch and sales PPC bidding strategy for your mom gift that managed you to rank the top page and allow low TACOS while launching? So Abdallah is talking about this product right here. This is my mom spa gift set for women. And I launched this with a single product review back first week in May is when it really went live with the FBA stock. And in here, we optimized the main photo, I think 4 or 5 different PickFu tests that we ran. If you guys want to get 50% off PickFu, just go to pickfu.com/myamazonguy. And we're certified with them. We're a big proponent. That's why I push their product on my channel. And we've just seen the results from that. So that was the most important thing I did was get the main photo right. When I first launched the product, I wasn't selling jack crap. And then once I fixed the main image, the sales started pouring in. And so we generated $144,000 in 3 weeks with $11,000 in PPC spend. And it's a really good result. I also rode the wave of some mom gift language, which spikes during that time frame. I was able to get rank 1 for a 250,000 search volume term during that week. A lot of things went in my favor. At the end of the day, here are the basics, Abdallah. Optimize the listing before you launch it. Have everything set up. Now, if you can't do that, just optimize it as fast as possible post-launch. That means a stack of photos, a video, having the title, the bullets all filled out. In my case, I use emojis because I'm in a gift-giving category where it's kosher. And then make sure you have all of the A+ content filled out. I recommend having, copy in the A+ content so that it optimizes better, take as much space, do all of these things. Set the alt text with the keywords behind the photos of the product. Those were all the main reasons I was successful. But probably the biggest one was the PPC strategy. When I first launched this, I put about $3,000 on a single keyword, broad match gifts for mom. And that allowed me to index very rapidly for a lot of mom related keywords because I would generate sales off of those keywords related to the vernacular of giving gifts to mom. And since I had a mom gift box, obviously that's exactly what I wanted to do. I ended up indexing this product for more than 3,000 keywords in under 3 weeks. It's one of my best launches I've ever had, and did incredibly, incredibly well with it. So those are the main things that I recommend doing, is just make sure you optimize for day one. Always have everything live when you first start. Those are the most important things. Old Hickory says, how do you decide if Amazon DSP makes sense for one of your clients? What strategies do you like using with it? So today we actually don't even support DSP as a platform at the moment. We think that for the most part, most of the tools that DSP has available have migrated over to the Seller Central portal. We think that those tools are good enough within Seller Central that DSP is no longer needed. If you are a really large brand where you're spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month on PPC, I would definitely be spending some money on DSP. But here's the thing. If you're a brand spending less than 10 grand on ads, you probably ought to have 9,000 of that in sponsored products specifically, right? And here's why. So if we do a little demonstration, so if sponsored products are the lowest in the funnel from the search page, this is lowest of the funnel right here. And we talk about marketing funnels. What we mean is if the microphone was a sale, then low in the funnel next to that sale is where the ad resides. Okay. As we go up, a sponsored product target from an ASIN. So this is not showing up in search, but showing up on the product page. Buyer intent is a little bit weakened compared to the conversion in the search result, believe it or not. So it's a little bit higher in the funnel. Video ads are somewhere right around here, but because their costs are lower, you're able to show your video twice as much as you do a sponsored product. So it's on par with sponsored products. Let's keep going up the funnel. We got sponsored brands where that's a headline ad. It's higher in the funnel here. Display ads are all the way at the top of my screen. And DSP is up here. So what that means is if you spend money on DSP, it will be less impactful because it's the highest in the funnel. That means you're advertising to people not on Amazon about your brand, and you're paying for those impressions and clicks. So if you have a budget smaller than $30,000 on Amazon ads, you probably have not found diminishing returns on sponsored products yet, or video ads, or brand headline ads, or just even the display within Seller Central. If you haven't tested display ads in Seller Central yourself, you need to test that before you even think about DSP, right? And keep in mind that display ads in Seller Central aren't that great, right? Like if we were talking about budget allocation, this is like a 3% test at best. Here are the 3 campaign types inside of Seller Central. Sponsored products, 90% of your budget should be here almost always. Sponsored brands, I will put somewhere around 9 to 10% in here. And sponsored display is super hit or miss. Super hit or miss. It's high in the funnel. It's at the top of the screen here. DSP's up here. Display's right here on that marketing funnel. But on occasion, I've been able to have some good campaigns with category targeting in display, but not very often. So it's very risky. You gotta measure your spend on that. So great question, Old Hickory there. Steve says, I see A+ graphics under info from manufacturer from the brand on some listings instead of the A+ content under the product description. Why is that? So it's pretty much the same thing, actually, Steve. But in terms of some technical explanation here, so in my section, mine shows up in the product description on this particular listing. I think if we go down to some of my other products, it might not show up in the product description. It might show up under from the manufacturer. But typically speaking, on most listings, the from the manufacturer description is coming out of vendor central items, not often from seller central. I have seen it, but more than often, it's just because inside of a vendor central listing, the product description will display in addition to the A plus content module. So that's why they made a new section called from the manufacturer and left the product description model here. But in Seller Central, almost always, about 90% of the time, the product description is flat out replaced by A plus content. However, in the last year, I have started to see product descriptions start to show up in addition to the A plus content. Kaiser, nice to see you too. Hello. Sylvia says, by the way, you're awesome. I appreciate that. How do I balance work and family life? What a great question to talk about. Here is how you do it. You make all things prosperous simultaneously, and it's a juggle. Some days, like this week has been extraordinarily stressful as a company owner. A lot of things going on and trying to manage everything in the business, right? All of us go through those days. And some days you're just like, okay, it's a family day and you're all in on family, right? Holidays, vacations, events, those sort of things. You just make family days, right? Now, a lot of what I'm saying is common sense, nothing earth shattering on this, but my personal motto is prosperity in all things. So I have 4 kids, 6 and under. I work from home, so I get to see them a lot. I make time for them. I go eat lunch with them. I try and go read them books at bedtime. You got to make the time and circulate it there. Efficiencies of scale, also really important, and delegating to elevate within the business. If you are, the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you this question, what is the thing you hate to do in your business the most right now? Write it down. Great. How can you get that off your plate? If you delegate the thing that you hate doing, you will be a better business leader, a better business owner, and you'll be much more pleasant to be around for your family. Then you can make more time for your family, et cetera. So great question, Steve. I love doing conversations about business ownership and the like. Any advice for managing inventory while selling seasonal products? How not to make my inventory hold in FC transfers in the season peak? Funny you say that. So we're 5 days from Christmas this year, and I'm selling my mom box. And Amazon does an FC transfer of 500 of my items of my remaining 650 5 days before Christmas. I was livid. I'm like, what in the world? Why would you do that, Amazon? Right? It makes 0% sense. So the only thing that you can do, Abdallah, is ship in your inventory 2 months in advance. You'll take a hit on IPI. You'll take a hit with the restock limitations. But that is the only way you can do that. Additional strategies that you should consider, Abdallah, include having both fulfillment methods within your Seller Central portal, have FBM, fulfilled by merchant, as well as fulfilled by Amazon via FBA. And that way, if they do a stupid transfer, you can flip to the merchant fulfilled listing and still get sales. So you'll see right here on the very right-hand side, I have 2 delivery options. I have a fulfilled by merchant at a $52 price point and a prime at $40. And I try and keep the fulfilled by merchant more expensive so it doesn't win the buy box. But at least if FBA goes away, I have a backup, so at least it still stays alive. How do competitor videos end up on my page, and how can I target competition will adding competition ASIN to my video be visible on their listing? So Ruben, there's 2 ways video ads can show up. The first we've kind of talked about already, and that is when you load it through either Amazon Live or through a customer account in the video section right here. See this button right there? It says upload your video. You could go to any listing right now and upload your video, even to your competitor listings. Now, as the consumers engage with the videos that are most relevant will remain remain here. Now, how many people, if we were to poll the audience right here, how many people actually click on these? Nobody really knows, right? We're got to be less than 1%, right? And I don't know if I can do a poll question inside here. I'd love to do it if I could. I don't think I can through StreamYard. I think I can do it directly in YouTube if I wanted. But in any case, so if you have ever clicked on a video ad in this section, please post a comment. I'm just curious to see what people do there. All right, so that's the number one way. In addition to that, when you're running video ads, Amazon is currently beta testing showing your video ad on a product detail page. And that's the second way. So yes, video ads are the future right now. No question about it. I made a prediction 2 years ago that they would start showing video ads on Twitch. And then what did they do last year? They started showing video ads on Twitch. So it's you have to. There's no more real estate. They've taken it all. So costs are going up because real estate's going down and whatnot. Abdallah, thank you so much. Congratulations right back. I think he's congratulating the 2 million hits on our channel. What would you do with that keyword that was selling and converting very good in PPC, and suddenly it's getting more than usual clicks and spending with no sales? So fringe chance that there's somebody doing some black hat clicks on your ad. You could always try and audit that and bring it to Amazon's attention and ask for a refund if you have a compelling case. But in general, I would say you might just have to write it out or lower your bid or look at the search term report and see if there's anything worth negating, right? So going on a little journey into your advertising campaign manager every week or every 2 weeks to look for negations or go to the search term report. Very, very beneficial thing to do. So I'm actually kind of curious if I go into one of my soap campaigns and see if we can here. What I'll do is I'll go into my most spend campaign and we'll do a little exercise on this. So I've spent 14 grand in the last 30 days on PPC. And so if we sort this by most spend right here, so we got a 2000 keyword broad match campaign. Let's check this one out. And this is for my smudge sticks. So we're going to go into the ad group and we're next going to go into the search term report. And it's taking a second to populate. And then we're going to sort this by spend. Everybody should be doing this on a consistent basis because you're going to find some interesting things. So sage candles for cleansing house, right? So I don't sell a candle. I sell a smudge stick. So just so you guys understand the product, I'll pull it up. Here is the smudge stick, right? By the way, I've never lit one of these myself. I just have a daughter named Sage and decided it would be cool to sell sage. So I'm doing it. And so you can see what we've done there. So going into the campaign structure, I don't even have the word candles on my listing, but as you can clearly see, I convert well for it. So I'm going to keep doing that, right? White sage, I do well with that. Sage sticks, that's a broad match keyword that is coming in at significantly lower ACOS. I'm probably going to want to spend more money typing on sage stick. But as we go down, sage smudge kit, this one is a total bomb. So what you would do is you would negate this as an exact match, right? And so if you do a broad match campaign and this isn't going well for you, you want to negate it. Now, I happen to have a smudge kit. So on this particular product, I would want to have, and it looks like the page is taking a second to load here. It's kind of weird. But on this particular product, I have an actual kit. And so sometimes you'll get crossover traffic between these two things. And I don't want to spend money on sage smudge kits going to the variation of just the 3-pack, right? So this is one of the best techniques in PPC is to come in, look at your search term report, negate things that have high ACOS like that, and then keep going down the list. So here's an irony, right? So like sage candles for cleansing house, 50%, but white sage candle, 138%. Probably too early to tell with only 10 clicks in, but doesn't do as well, right? And so there's certain things that we're going to negate, certain things we're going to try and spend more money on. But by and large, we're going to want to push certain keywords to different variations on the product page. So Abdallah, you might need to do some cleanup work on your listing. Let's see. All right, Steven, thank you for all the answers. Just very much appreciate. What do you use to do report to your client on brand performance? Is there any third-party tool or Google Sheet? We do business reports, Google Sheets, and just explain like week to week how things are going, so you guys can get a baseline of the top line numbers, traffic, clicks, conversion rate, sales, etc. down the list, impression counts even as well from the advertising. In my opinion, there are some good third-party tools to give you some brand performance. I think Helium 10s are pretty good. There's Managed by Stats and Seller Legend, many tools out there that you can use to look at brand performance. Many tools, including ZonGuru and Sellix, are also coming out with benchmark reports. And so if you guys haven't tried one of those before, couldn't hurt. If you go to myamazonguy.com/Sellix, you can sign up for a benchmark report. I've done this and I've done a demo video on this. If any of you sign up for a Sellix report today, even if you don't even spend any money with Sellix, they actually give me $20 every time somebody does this. So if you want to help me out today, you want to give me a $20 donation, go to myamazonguy.com/Sellix, like that. Put the link in the chat and sign up for a benchmark report. And what they do is, and there's a reason why they're buying these reports. They want more data on accounts, right? That's the reason they do it for free for you. There's no cost to you to do this. And then they will tell you based on your category, how is your spend? How is your ACOS? How is your benchmark against these other products? So feel free to do that. Much appreciated for anybody in advance that does that today. My question, I launched a manual exact PPC campaign 3 days ago, not getting any data related to any campaigns. Is there an issue? You might be banned from ads. Check for adult flags. If you have any ad violations, that could be the cause of it. If you don't have a category rank or a BSR, if you have 0 sales on the item, you might want to see if you have what's called a hidden suppression. So for those that haven't heard me talk about hidden suppressions before, what you do is you go onto Amazon, you type in your ASIN, make sure you're doing it from like Amazon.com, not like the category dropdown. So type in an ASIN like this. If the ASIN comes up, you're good. That means you don't have a suppression. If the ASIN doesn't come up, that means you have a hidden suppression, and that's a problem. So check for hidden suppressions, make sure those are okay. Oso says, preparing to sell a seasonal product, March 1st to April 7th. Quantity, 3,000. Have a problem with restock limits and sell-through rate, IPI 411, sell-through rate, restock limit 1,000. So that's a very brutal restock limit. Current product sales are 250 a month, utilizing a quantity of 400. ACOS 20%, tacos 20%. All pretty healthy numbers, other than the tacos a little high. And I can't pay more on PPC. What is your advice to increase the limit and improve the sell-through rate? So with a seasonal product, Osos, I would recommend that you request a restock limit increase. We're coming out of the Q4 time period. They should be a little bit more lenient on those requests. If you have a direct sales contact at Amazon, or if you have an account rep over at Amazon, they are almost 100% approving restock limits right now. If you go through the Seller Central portal, and we have a video on how to do this, just type into Google, My Amazon Guy restock limit increase. We'll walk you through how to request it in the portal. We got about a 10% success rate doing it through the portal, but it's worth 5 minutes of effort to go try. So even on my Momster account, we did the restock limit increase ticket. They denied it. I sent it over to my Amazon rep. He approved it, and I got all of my stock in time. So that's the best way. And then secondly, Osos, what I would do is I would create a merchant fulfilled listing as a backup method and fulfill it yourself through a 3PL or your own warehouse, if at all possible. Can be difficult sometimes to do that. Do you know what paperwork is required to sell KN95 masks? We have cleared those documentations. It's been a year since I've had to look at those, and I don't remember them off the top of my head. If I were you, Vasil, though, I would say it's probably too late. Nobody, I get it. Winter's going to be a lot more mask purchases this year, but everybody is just stocked out. I'm using the long vernacular here. Everybody has too much stock on these things. I'm telling you, there's way too many out there. So don't jump into it if you haven't already. I think it's not an evergreen product, and I think that's got a life shelf of maybe another 90 days tops. And everybody's trying to discount their stock and move it right now. All right. Despite having, okay, I already did that one. SC Trojan, When you would create a variation versus separate listing, seems like variation inherits all the keywords of the other variations and would have an easier time for launching. I love talking about parentage theory. So one of the products that I probably think is the best way to demonstrate this is probably my wine glasses. So I'm going over to amazon.com/monster, and I'm going to click on a couple of examples. So here I have my shark wine glasses. And with the shark wine glasses, it makes perfect sense that I'm going to keep the sharks together. Why? Because somebody that comes in to buy a mama shark might buy Nana shark or might buy grandpa shark, right? They might buy multiple products. And so I have 1,600 reviews combined here. Every single review on my entire account is organic. I've never incentivized a review, never done anything external, by the way. And so I have great reviews. All of these things are helpful to the cause, right? So should I keep these parented together or break them up? Each product and category is going to have a different analysis. On the sharks, this one's clear cut. Keep them together because average order value or AOV is increased when these are parented together. In terms of keywords, those are very much a secondary point. You wouldn't need to do that at all. So if we go to a different listing, right, and here's the product I have banned from advertising, and it's been banned for almost a year now, still a really good seller for me, but they banned it because they have the word drinking. So on this particular parentage, I am keeping this wine glass parented with other random designs because the keywords, because I want to have one power listing per parentage. When you have one power child ASIN, this is a child, and when you have one power child listing, it will default the keyword ranks in the SERPs. So what happens is when somebody types in funny wine glass, this item comes up. I think I'm in position like 40 right now. I used to be in position 1 before it got banned from ads for the term wine glass. It was an amazing producing item for me. Super depressed they banned it. Anyway, so if I had a second producer, so let's say, I may be wrong, but I doubt it, right? Let's say that wine glass started taking off and it was doing 100 units a day. And so was the social distancing one. I would then create a new parentage and break them off. Here is why. When you have multiple items parented together, they don't actually share keywords. They're stored at the child level. So when you break them up, they independently show in their own ranks. If you have two high producing products, you're better off unparenting them and separating them out. So for example, let's say those two glasses, that I may be wrong, I doubt it, and the social distancing were my two performers. I would cut this parentage in half and move 4 or 5 products to the one and 4 or 5 products to the other. And this would increase the amount of people that see me in Amazon.com. So when I type in funny wine glass, I can only see at any one point in time, and I typoed it there, I can only see at any one point in time one item in the search results from a parentage. These happen to be my 2 items right there, and they're on different parentages. So the quarantine parentage and the wine aerobics parentage are separate. I have 300 reviews on that parentage, 1,100 reviews on that parentage, et cetera, et cetera. So being able to show up multiple times, and there's my social distancing glass. This is an organic rank of about 12 on the term funny wine glass. If I have 2 high producers, I'd want to separate them out so I show up multiple times in the search results. Showing up multiple times in the search results gives me an extra chance to generate a click. And you will not show up multiple times if they're parented together. So I went really deep on the parentage theory question because I love talking parentage theory. It's the most misunderstood concept. So when in doubt, so here's some best practices to summarize. When in doubt, parent things together. You got a unit or a size difference. Those are no-brainers. Parent those together. If you are parenting things together for review combining, you may or may not need to do that. And if there are multiple high producers, separate them out. Those are the best practices for that. Can you put an H10 to ask for reviews like Junglescout does? Yes, it's a push button thing. Very, very overvalued. I don't even run it anymore on my accounts. It just doesn't do much. It's not really important. On your I'm not drinking alone, I'm social distancing wine glass page, you have discover similar items section. How do we load the section, or is it controlled by Amazon? Completely controlled by Amazon. Kind of talked about that earlier as well. I suspect one of my variations is bringing down my rating. How do I? Oh, this is a really good question. You need bagels.io, SC Trojan. What you're going to do is you're going to download your reviews by child ASIN, and then you can decide like which is which. Helium 10 might be able to do that. I haven't done it through Helium. I would suspect that they are smart enough to know how to program for that and add it as an add-on tool. But in any case, bagels.io is a free tool to download all the reviews by child ASIN. And you can see how many reviews are on each ASIN. You can see the review rating and decide which one to break out. Very, very great question, SC Trojan. Would I recommend Pinterest marketing? Only for products that are for females and generally feel good products, but not for very many other items. First review of the product got 1 star. Oh, ouch. That hurts. Now conversion has plummeted. Before the 1-star review, the sales were good. Order more inventory and hope for positive reviews to come in, or relaunch as a new ASIN. It depends. There's a lot of variables here. I would say I probably would relaunch. Honestly, the first review coming in as a 1-star it just kills you. Just makes everything more expensive. Even if you shipped in 200 quantity of items, I would relaunch it. I would also file tickets to try and strike the review and try and get it removed. It really kills you. It's a bad one. Super bad situation. I want to join your agency. I want to learn more about Amazon. I have 1 year of experience. Happy to work full-time without any salary. Well, hey, hard to turn down those offers, right? Send your resume to jobs@myamazonguy.com. We'd love to hear from you. We are hiring. We're always hiring. I was reading on Reddit the other day, hey, if a company's always hiring, that's a red flag. In our case, it's not a red flag. We're just simply growing consistently. We just literally can't fill all of the seats that we need fast enough to keep up with our demand. You can find a lot of information about our jobs over at myamazonguy.com/jobs. You can see videos I've put out about how we always hire for competency. We have US openings. We have international openings. We're always hiring account managers, directors, specialists. If you like PPC, we got a lot of things. We always like PPC talent. So I've started creating some landing pages specific to areas we also hire for. So we've got a myamazonguy.com/PPC jobs, myamazonguy.com/copy jobs, design jobs, you name it. We've created landing pages for all of these because we've started to automate our hiring process. So to get a job at My Amazon Guy in PPC, you'd go to myamazonguy.com/PPC jobs. You'd then email your resume to PPC jobs at My Amazon Guy, take the culture index survey and the PPC quiz. All of those are linked right here. Answers to all the frequently asked questions. We have all of our employee surveys. We try and survey once every 3 months. I think we're due now for our next survey. And we're always trying to improve. Do you have the tools to do your job? Back in July, 8.7. We got it up to 9.21 by September. We figured out 2 or 3 tools everybody needed that they didn't have access to, and we fixed it, and we improved our score. What do you recommend working at My Amazon Guy? 9.3 in July, 9.36 in September. Pretty hard to improve on that number as it is. And that is 130 employees with all of those answers included anonymously. So a lot of information about hiring. We always put employees first. Clients come second. And we are happy to publicly state that in front of our clients. We do that because we like to fire our asshole clients, and we only like to work with people that treat our employees as well as we do. That allows us to attract more talent, and we're always looking for talent. All right, enough of my hiring plug. Going back to the list of questions, we got a super sticker coming in from DJ. DJ, I'm looking for your question here, and man, we got a lot of questions in queue. All right, DJ, I'm going to try and find your question. DJ, feel free to post your question a second time. I don't see it in here. If you're just donating to be happy and nice, I appreciate it. Ted, I've only clicked the video ads to see what others are doing so I can copy the good ideas. That's a good one. I like that. All right. All right, so I think I caught up on the member questions from the top down. I'm going down here. Unfortunately, they refused my restock limit. How to connect with an Amazon rep? If you're a client of My Amazon Guy, we can make those introductions. Unfortunately, I can't do that for you unless you're a client. They won't help you. So you probably have to go to the merchant fulfilled list. Tenzing says, if I have 2 brand registry in one account, and an aggregator wants to purchase one of the brands, do they have to buy both brands? Depends. You got two options. Option one, sell them your account, and then you migrate out to the new account and disable the brand of your choice from brand registry. Or you keep your account, sell the brand, and then they transfer it, and then you give the brand registry access to the aggregator's new account. We do this all the time. It's actually pretty complex, though. Bagels.io site is gone. Oh, man, is it really gone? That would stink. If anybody knows the replacement to downloading reviews, please post it in the chat. The one-star review was a customer saying the quality was good. They were just upset it was smaller than expected. Can it be strike? Probably not. We do have a product review removal guide, Karen. Just type in product review removal, my Amazon guy, and you'll find our guide on that in Google. Lucas also saying 5 years experience, would like the side hustle for your agency, and I will pay you. Wow, we're getting a lot of people interested in working for My Amazon Guy today in the chat. Well, I appreciate that, Lucas. Send your resume over to jobs at My Amazon Guy. How much was your bidding when you spent $3,000 on that single gift for mom broad match? I think it was $1.28. In my category, I can get away with home good bids in that $1.50, $1.28 range. All right. So Muhammad says, how can I share my product link on social media for external traffic? This is a really good question. And I don't think I've ever covered this on my channel before. So this is going to be a brand new one. Not very often I say that. I've got 900 videos on the YouTube channel, right? So inside of Seller Central, and I'm trying to navigate this on my own side over here, there's a way to create a promotion. So let's see if I can navigate this on the fly. So in here, I think I found it. Yep. So you go to advertising, promotions, and then in the top left here, you see this create social media promo code. Click that, and then you can set it up, select the dates, and the claim code right there. So that's how you do it. Give that a whirl, Mohammed. How much? Oh, where did that one? All right, so let's go to. You had mentioned in a previous live chat that marketing can be charged on credit cards and earn points instead of using Amazon funds. Can you elaborate? Yes. Inside of your campaign manager, you can select the method at which they charge you. So let's see if I can figure that out. So I'm trying to remember where they stick this, because not every often you. I think I found it. Okay, so if you go into advertising in the bottom left, click on the gear icon and go to billing and payments. I'm going to pull this off screen because I don't want to show any personal information by accident. And let's see what that page looks like. I don't see too much. There's a little bit of personal information on this page. So on that page, you can then select the payment settings. And then, okay, so I'm not in my main admin user, but if you go to payment settings right here from the admin dropdown, you'll see an option to switch between credit card or use the funds inside of the account. So give that a whirl, Tenzing. Let me know how that goes. You got an extra, if you got a credit card with 2% points, I mean, that adds up. I mean, think about it. If you spent $100,000 on ads this year, that's $2,000. So it's worth putting on credit card points. Ophir, thank you for the super sticker. Super appreciated. Constantly been going out of stock because UPS is not picking up from port in time. The boat arrives at the California port in time, but the goods are sitting there for weeks waiting for UPS. So, Karen, there is not a lot of good options for you other than the fact that I recommend buying a year's supply of your stock and sticking at a 3PL. So that way, when there are delays, you don't go out of stock. The damage of an out of stock is significant. Very, very hard damage to your brand and your item and your BSR listings. You lose keyword rankings. So never go out of stock is the rule of thumb. There's no way to speed up that pickup. California is just a festering cesspool of inability to function right now. And it's because of government regulations. They've made it so that the truck has to be newer than a specific year, make, and model so that it doesn't pollute the environment in California, which doesn't make any sense because now boats are sitting in the ocean polluting even more. So this is the Jeopardy thesis of government intervention to try and make an improvement. And California is the leader on making government regulations. So nothing you can do to solve that, Karen, unfortunately. All right. So DJ, I see your question now from the super chat. Any thoughts on conversion rates for the following? Ships from Amazon sold by Amazon. Ships from Amazon sold by seller. So the ships from Amazon versus sold by Amazon or seller, I think the conversion rate is identical. I do not believe that consumers are educated enough to look at the difference between those two. All of those are prime listings. Now, your next part of your question gets a little more tricky. Ships from seller, sold by seller, and seller fulfilled prime using ships from seller, sold by seller. So the seller fulfilled prime, I think, will take a slight hit. And by the way, super technical question for those that don't have no idea what DJ is talking about. It's right underneath the buy box on the very far right over here. Ships from, sold from. So mine is ships from Amazon, sold by Momster. That's my global account here. And this conversion rate is as good as they come. Self-fulfilled prime, I think, will take a hit, but marginally. We're talking like maybe a quarter of a percentage point. But then when you go from FBA prime, so you can see all these are prime. You see the prime badge right there. But when you switch from that and you go ships from seller, sold by seller without seller fulfilled prime, your conversion rate will tank considerably, sometimes as much as 50%. Big cut. So very good question there. All right. And there are about 50 questions from future members I have not gotten to yet in today's chat. So if you're somebody who's posted your question in chat, I'm not going to get to all of them today. You guys asked about 200 questions today. I apologize. Stephen, by the way, on that credit card topic, the business AMEX Gold gives you 4% cash back if you spend on online ads. What a fantastic tip right there. So go grab the AMEX Gold to get that money back. Up to 150K in spend. That's a pretty awesome thing. All right. So now I have done all member questions in queue. I'm now going to selectively choose some future member questions as quickly as I can. How to check for a patent. I actually don't know the answer to that question. If anybody does, please answer it in chat. To check for a trademark, just look in Google and type trademark lookup, and you can find out if there is, and literally my Google phone just started Googling this from voice commands, if there is a trademark in Google. It reminds me of a funny story. So one time somebody was doing a video conference and they were mentioning Alexa to go do something, and it actually physically ordered something while they were on the phone. Pretty funny story. I witnessed that. Some listings get taken down if the product doesn't have an instruction manual. Where can I see what products require this? Usually this is in a very technical tools section. I don't know which categories require this, but if you go load the PDF, it's very easy to load a PDF. You do that from the inventory management upload section. To get sales balls rolling at a product launch, you set a PPC budget, timescale, and target ACOS. So $2,000 to $3,000 to launch a product, 30% TACOS month 1, 20% TACOS month 2. Work it down to between 11 and 14% TACOS month 3. We used to say 10% TACOS 2 years ago. Last year, we moved it to 11%. This year, in 2022, we're saying 11 to 14% TACOS because of all the PPC hikes. Oh boy, here comes the government rant. You've heard a few of those from me from time to time. Rachel, how do you get more reviews? You don't. You generate more orders. Every 100 orders, you get one product review. There is no great way to generate product reviews right now. We're a private label seller. Some of the products does not ship to Canada with remote order. All of these products are in the same category. How do we send these products to FBA for Canada? Not actually a hard process at all. All you're going to do is create a shipment in Seller Central like you normally would, but switch it over to Canada. And that's it. And then you just have to pay for the shipping through your own partner carrier. You can't do that. What's the fastest profit scaling you've seen for a new Amazon seller? Up to 12 or 24 months. Fastest from 0 to hero numbers, and what numbers? I would say fastest I've ever seen is 6 weeks. We took one seller to $500,000 a month by the end of month 2. That's the fastest I've ever seen. We did it in November and December, and they were a chocolate business. A little bit of seasonality there, but not a whole lot. And so I would say on average, us as an agency, we pay for ourselves within 3 months or 90 days by trying to get the lift. Sellers on average are profitable within 6 to 12 months. But I've seen the data studies on this. It's a very wide range. So like some sellers are not profitable for a year and a half, but like a strong majority of them are profitable between months 6 and 12. All right. Eunice says, hello, we are private label sellers. Some of our products does not ship Okay, we did that one actually. Let's keep going. With a price level of $14, do you think that dropping the price to $9.99 will have any effect on ranking if we keep it for a month? Yes. In fact, most of my wine glasses are selling in that $13, $14 range. And when I'm trying to get a product to recover, so like right now, my Because Quarantine glass is at $9.99. It's not doing too hot. It's only ranked 1,200 in wine glass. It's only ranked 75,000 in home and kitchen goods, right? And so I'm trying to lower it down to $9.99 to make it convert better. And it does. It absolutely does. And then once you raise it back up, it will recover. You'll keep the velocity when you raise it back up. So yes, that does work. Can I share my direct product link on social? Yes, you can. We covered that one. All right, let's keep going up the list here. Top of placement down only, high percentage cause more clicks. What is the reason behind this? So this is a technical question about using segmentation changes to the advertising console. And when you do a top placement bid, you're modifying a bid modifier to spend more money to show up higher in the SERPs. So when you do top of placement down only, high percentage, this is going to cause more clicks because you are bidding down for somebody who doesn't have a likelihood to purchase according to Amazon's algorithm, which would normally reduce clicks. But because you're doing top of placement, you're still going to be seen at a higher proportionate of the time. That's why the clicks are going to go up. So that's why. Somebody said vor.ngo. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if that's a spam link or if that will allow you to download reviews, but maybe somebody else can verify that. If we try and send these products with FBA, we get an error about remote fulfillment. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that. So you can create a second set of SKUs. One is remote fulfillment. One is FBA. That's how you solve that. That's a great question. Very, very complicated. Hello from Turkey, by the way. Hello there. Some of our product. Okay, we try not to repeat questions, guys, in the chat. I'm doing my best to get to them. Is it better to register a new brand or stick with the current one? No way to answer that question, Gizon. I would say it depends on the type of item and what your scale is. If you're going from selling wine glasses with your brand name Monster and you want to launch a beer glass, chances are you probably shouldn't do Monster, right? You should launch a new brand and go get a new trademark. But every situation a little bit unique. Would it be possible to obtain the brand tab at the brand registry did from the child account? In this case, yes, you can transfer full ownership. You can unenroll a brand from brand registry. It's actually something people don't know that they can do. And you've had problems trying to get brand registry connected. Use the main admin email. That's generally the best way to fix those. Those can be very problematic. It takes a lot of troubleshooting, a lot of brand registry tickets. Exactly what we were experiencing on spot. He said that at 12:24. So whatever I was saying at 12:24 was spot on, guys. What are the requirements to launch products in the toys category? You need child safety data sheets very, very specifically now. Unfortunately, they've made it harder. What is the best practices for building a brand store page? First of all, fill it out. That's the most important best practice. I can't tell you how many times you'll click on the brand name of a detailed product listing, and then they don't actually have anything here. So I think each brand can go a different angle here. So on this particular product, we wanted to go for the demographic targeting, right? But when I did my Age of Sage, I just did this myself. I actually literally just submitted this less than 48 hours ago. I redid my Age of Sage brand one. And instead of going for the big graphic, I went for, here are my 4 types of products I want pushed. And then underneath that, more information about my mom box, shop now icons, and then a bunch of just kind of like random things. I don't think there is any specific most important thing you need to do, RZA, other than have some drop downs where you explain your different subcategories. So like on this one, for example, I've got soap, smudge sticks, mom box, Mr. and Mrs. And then you got your social post right here, right? So for those that don't know, social post, one of the fastest ways to get your product seen for free is just simply by putting that in. And you can even see they're like putting keywords at the bottom here. I think that's brand new. So social post connect to your brand store. Simply fill it out, get it up, get it online, showcase your product the best you can. What's the best time to launch products? Always be launching products, first of all. But the best time to launch a product is when there's going to be a seasonal lift. So by launching a Mother's Day box the first week in May, I was able to ride that wave very, very heavily, $144,000 in 3 weeks, because we launched literally when everything was in the best possible shape. All right, so I'll take a couple more questions here. Still about 35 questions in queue I did not get to. Man, this is amazing. You're very welcome. If you enjoyed our session today and you just want to say thanks and give me a pat on the back, just say thank you or nice show in the comment section. How do we unroll brand registry? You file a ticket in brand registry to ask them to unenroll it. When we get a new EIN, would you have a problem changing that on Amazon? No. In fact, we created a new landing page. We got really good at this. My catalog team is the best in the world. We are able to troubleshoot any problem on Amazon. We are a front runner and leader on this question. And we've created a service on how to change UPCs. And this is one of our more cheaper services for a la carte. So you can get up to 50 ASINs change for $500 with us. So check that out. UPC change service. Give that a whirl. Very easy to make these changes happen in bulk. Got a nice super sticker from Karen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Nice hat coming in from Lucas. Thank you, Stephen. Nice show as always. I hope you guys all have a great weekend and a happy Friday. I really enjoyed our show today. Lots of great questions. We talked about parentage theory. We talked about a cool advertising hack and technique. We talked about relisting products and when to do that. Go rewatch it. Go hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And look at the playlist of all of the videos that we put out every Friday. You can click on the one playlist and play all of our previous live sessions. And I really had a nice time. Great show. Nice show. Thank you, Gustavo. Appreciate it. You guys all have a great weekend. We'll see you later. See you next Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy.